Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a great day. It's nuts. It's nuts. There's tons of news out there, right? So the let's try again. The CFTC Chair Rostin Behnam was on CNBC this morning and said, listen, he's told Congress before, they need to move now to implement some sort of crypto regulatory framework. And on top of that, the framework needs to be coordinated internationally. Right? Kind of makes sense. Crypto is international, crosses borders. Crypto actually has no borders. So that's something to contemplate. Something else he's saying that, really caught my attention that I agree with is most coins, tokens out there are securities based on their incentivized nature, right? Then you have, other coins that obviously are not. So there's a clear way that they can actually figure out, well, what's the test to figure out, is it a security or is it a commodity? That exists, right? They can do that. They're just not right now. So Rostin is actually saying, listen, I've gone to Congress. I've advocated for more authority in this space. It needs to happen. We need to have, regulatory framework. I commend them for trying to get the job done. Something else that I'm paying attention to is the problem that's being solved that doesn't have to be solved. So the Federal Reserve Bank of New York has undertaken a proof of concept program for a CBDC, and it involves like a ton of banks, including let's get to this list: Wells Fargo, HSBC, Citi, BNY Mellon, and Mastercard. Most importantly, it also involved who? Singapore's central bank. That's significant because Singapore obviously is a major financial hub. But again, solving a problem that doesn't exist. If you're trying to get away from the SWIFT network, well, that's called crypto. That's the answer. Creating your own CBDC? Seriously? You're a little bit late to the game, aren't you? I mean, you're kind of just late to the game, period. So that also means that, FedCoin, the Federal Reserve said, hey, look, listen, FedCoin is nowhere near. This is just a pilot program. Pretty far-reaching pilot program, but still, it's there. If you're on Circle's platform, it's pretty cool. If you're using Circle's platform to develop your web initiative, you can actually work with Apple Pay, which is kind of nice. I guess, if you're into that kind of thing, right? There are certain things that I think you should be involved with if you are offering any kind of retail infrastructure or need to get money or funds in, right? So Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, Stripe, crypto, obviously. I think there are just certain things that you should have that would round out your ability to offer easy solutions to people that want to pay you or businesses that want to pay you. So that's a big deal to me. Something else that I'm paying attention to that I'm just eating all up is the idea that Polygon landed SWOOSH. So the announcement for SWOOSH, which is Nike's digital community, was announced, yesterday? So really cool, nice. The real news is that it is a win for Polygon. Now, I also want you to take a step back and understand just how big Polygon is. 190 million addresses as of this week attributed to Polygon. Now, something else you have to consider is all of the projects that are on Polygon require scalability, speed, and reliability. All things that Polygon gives you right now. Ethereum is aspiring to get to that point. Polygon gives it to you right now. And that's a very big deal as you start to think about, well, maybe I have a project, or maybe I want to invest in a project. You need to understand how it's being built, not just who's building it and what they're doing with it, but what's the underlying platform. Again, you have a lot of things on the Solana platform, and now people are starting to think, maybe we should move. Right? If you're Helium and you're thinking about moving, this would be your second move in less than 2 months. Just putting that out there for you. Something that, should be shocking, not, I'd say it like tongue in cheek, right? Justin Sun is obviously taking over Huobi Global. And I'm laughing about it because way back in August, I think August 15th, August 12th, I think, is when I first started hearing about, Huobi Global and, Doosan starting to think about, I want to sell 60%. That kind of gave me a sniff test. Something's wrong. Anyway, fast forward to August 15th, and Justin Sun is on the list with Sam Bankman-Fried to take over Huobi Global. Right there, another flag. Bam. Then everything happens with FTX, so obviously they're not in on Huobi. But here's the thing: Justin Sun had been advising Huobi to begin with. So did Sam. So even if everything was fine with FTX, did Sam actually really have any kind of opportunity to actually get in on that? Probably not. Justin Sun was already there, so it shouldn't be a shocker that Justin Sun is taking it over. It also shouldn't be a shocker that I will never touch it. Right? Looking at his history, I just don't trust the guy. I'm not, no, I would not. That's an exchange I wouldn't even think about. I'm sticking to the centralized exchanges that I use for, certain, specific transactions. And of course, I keep almost everything on, my own non-custodial wallets. That's just facts. Right? Maybe I'll use, I use Coinbase and others to onboard money, take money off, those kinds of things. Right? It's on-ramp and off-ramp of money. That's how I think about it. And specific transactions. There are other ways that I can on-ramp money. So that's not the issue. It's, I want to do a transaction. What's the cheapest way for me to handle that transaction? Think about that. Think about what I just said. What's the cheapest way for me to handle the transaction? That's what I'm going to do. Okay? So that's what's going on in the news right now. So if you look at everything that's going on with FTX and everything else, and the fallout, contagion, whatever word you want to use, yes, it's going to keep going. But right now, what do we have? Right now, we have other news that's out there that can also present to you opportunities to grow your bag or increase your value. That's what I'm concentrating on. That's what me and the kids are concentrating on. This is an opportunity. Everything's down. We're also paying attention to, yes, everything's down, but look at how far down it's not. So think about the impact of Terra Luna going up, and think about the impact of FTX. Far different. Terra Luna went out and knocked everybody down from all-time highs down, I think some coins were down up to 95%. So yes, we're down right now, but not huge the way people are thinking. And I think one of the reasons is because it's not directly tied to crypto. It's not a crypto problem. It's not like there was a network outage or something like that. This is a bad actor or actors doing something they shouldn't be doing. So I'm starting to pay attention to what news is out there that's going to drive me to make an investment. So obviously I keep harping on things like Matic. And the reason why I harp on Matic is because I like it from a technical perspective. I own a technology company, kind of makes sense, right? Anyway, I like it from a technical perspective. I like it from the common sense, even if I wasn't technical, look at the projects that are on there and look how unsung it is. Sounds nuts, but think about that. Polygon is actually undervalued in my humble opinion. I mean, you could say that about the whole cryptoverse right now, but given everything is on par, it's actually undervalued when you think about what is resting upon Polygon's infrastructure. So when everything starts to come back, I'm expecting Polygon to be one of those projects that shoots up, one of those investments that is gonna pay in a major fashion. There are others as well, right? I kind of key in on, I take a deep dive on different projects and then I come out. Anyway, that's what I have to say about that. Let's see. We should probably take a look at the numbers. There you go. All right. So as you can see, and I'm starting here for a reason, and the reason why is because you can actually see this line right here depicts my new low for the market, which is 15,638, right? So looking at 15,638, and we hit that right here, looking at that line, we are still trading, but Bitcoin is still trading below its initial low, right? Set a while ago. Let's see if I can see when it was set. You'd think I would have it memorized, but I don't, because I'm not bright like that. And let's see if it actually updates anytime soon. There you go. Because it was set a while ago, a few months, I'm going to say a couple of months ago that it was set. I'll try to remember that for tomorrow. I'm not going to get to it today. That's just not going to happen, obviously. But as I look at everything, I sit back and I go, that is how it is right now, right? Let's just get back over here so we can get back to present day talk. Wow, I went way back. So you can see how far back we went to actually find out when that other low was set. It was set a while ago, a few months ago, 17.6. Now we're still hovering around 16.467. So well below that low. So we're fighting to get back to that. And I think it might be a little while. I don't know if we'll get there by Christmas, right? There are too many things lurking, bad news lurking. There's good news. Don't get me wrong. There's good news. But there's bad news that's also lurking, and that could actually, hamper any kind of push above that 17.6 mark. So I don't know. I'm not going to bet any money on it because crypto space is pretty crazy. But I'm hopeful, not even hopeful, I know it's going to do better. Like that's a for sure thing for me. So right now, like I said, I'm looking at where I can be, what I can do to maximize my income. Taking a bigger picture, taking a look at the bigger picture, you sit there and you say, well, everybody's red. Yes, everybody's red. Solana is crazy red, right? Yeah, I wouldn't be touching Solana for a while. Solana Foundation had some bad news, so I gave it to you yesterday, so pay attention to that. But Matic is down at 89 cents. With all that good news, it's down to 89 cents. It just dropped because it was, I think, at 93, 94 cents. It was at 94 cents this morning, so it took a little bit of a drop. But to me, again, that's a buying opportunity, so that's probably what I'm going to do. Probably. Doge is down, 8.5 cents. Doge has been playing around at that 8 cent mark for a while, and you have to think about what Elon's doing. He was just in the news saying, look, listen, current employees, you better be ready for some hardcore or take the severance package. Wow, dude, you need those people in a major fashion, and you're giving another ultimatum. I just don't get it. I don't even care. But until something positive happens over there at Twitter, I have zero faith in Doge. That's right. I said it. I said it out loud. Until something positive happens at Twitter, I do not have any faith in Doge. Why is that? Should be obvious. Name another utility. Name another way that Doge does something. Again, the separation, the term meme coin still exists because of Doge. That's honestly how I look at it. I no longer have Shiba, things like Shiba Inu in that same bucket. Why? Because Shiba Inu that whole community is doing something. They've got a lot of projects going on, so I don't look at them as a meme coin anymore. You can't. They've created utility. When I look at Doge, I'm kind of like, what you got going on? What's going on over there? Who's using it? Who's using it? Where's the adoption? That's what I'm looking for. So either there is a reason to invest in Doge from a investment perspective, which I don't see utility, or there's a reason to get Doge because of adoption. Again, don't see it. So I'd have to see some movement in that space, and the quickest mover that I could see that I can pinpoint is Twitter for Doge. Just saying. Just putting that out there for you. I hate to say it like that, but that's the honest truth for me. I'm looking at, obviously BTC, Ethereum. For me, when you're doing dollar cost averaging, or when me and my kids do dollar cost averaging, we're looking at coins that are going to do something. So Bitcoin, Ethereum are always being invested in. Those are things we're always diving into. Sprinkle, sprinkle, and then what else? That's how we look at it. Sprinkle, sprinkle, what else? Matic is now also in that group of three. It's a trifecta now. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. What else should we be looking at? Like, we don't even think about the sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle anymore. That's a thing. It's got its own process. Everything else is now in the DCA process. That's how we're attacking it. And we take deep dives. What I was saying before is we take a deep dive into a coin, really understand what's going on with the coin, its adoption, its projects, its community, all of that stuff, all of it. And then periodically we take another dive in, just take a look, right? And we keep that finger on the pulse of certain coins so that we understand what's going on. And we've built tools to help us do that. Tools that bring in news, just those things that give us alerts on pricing, on all that kind of stuff. And we can start to correlate, price changes to macro events out of their control, micro events within their control. That's how we're looking at it. Okay? Anyway, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.